Oh oh boy. Good to see you guys in here on a Friday night. How y'all doing tonight? Having a good time, I hope. It's a Friday night. And there's not much going on. I've been spending the last few hours watching Blue Bacon and everybody else with their live streams they had. And it looks like once again, Delete Laws is still live. He's been live for like 3 days now. It's like all he does is live stream and sleep. It's getting annoying. Um, so what's up? How's everybody doing? Huh? Anything anything new and exciting anyone wants to talk about to get started? I wanted initially I just wanted to do something to see if my scroll at the bottom was working, and it looks like it is. So I got that down pretty good. Frame myself better here. I want to get a green screen. I figured out how to make the background different. But when I do it without a green screen behind me, then every time I put my hands up or move, like my head will half disappear, or my fingers will be off. It could be kind of cool if I was trying to do a cheers, having a beer. See, all I got is stupid cranberry juice. I don't even like it, but it's all we got. That and water, of course. But yeah. So I wanted to come on, see, just to do it because there's nothing else going on tonight. It's Friday, and see what's up with everybody. How y'all doing? I'm working on something, another one of a standard video. It's going to have some pretty interesting clips. I found this one where the guy, who the heck was it? Let me see. I got it right here. Let me look real quick. Now I gotta wait for it to load because my computer is Garbage. Crapola. All right, just gonna give you guys a little idea what I got coming next. The video I'm currently working on for my next. You earn $36 a day or an hour or a month or what? Green screen will cause some issues with your hat. I was thinking that, but that's why I wanted to test it, and see what I could do with it. It's all experimental. Maybe I'll go with a blue screen. I don't know, but that's why it's a test. We're gonna find out. Okay, so the one I'm working on now, the first bit is who is it? First Amendment audit. No, I know that. I don't have the name of the dude in front of me. He's another one of these standard douche hammers. Wait a minute. I think it's got it in the. Come on, where is it? I don't care about your like and subscribe page, screen pal. Okay, showing me pictures of money and zombies. What is this crap? Anyway. The first video this isn't for tonight. This is just to give you an idea of what I'm working on right now. The first video of these two frauditors walking around, and it's like I'm going to edit everything and make it all entertaining and fun to watch. But I picked these three for a reason. The first one is these two auditors that are walking around, and there's literally nothing going on, right? They're just walking around filming, and guess what? Nobody bothers them and nothing happens. They start by auditing a library, which is always so amazing and wonderful, like standing up for our rights and our freedoms by auditing a library. Good. How are you? Hey, adults here talking. So anyway, they're auditing a library and nothing happens. So then they move on and they're walking down the street auditing everything they see. Until finally they see two guys that are from their job hanging out on their cigarette break, and they like pass them up. They film them for a second and then just keep doing what they're doing. And they have no idea, because there's nothing happening in their video and there's no conflict. And these guys are standing up for our rights, not purposely looking for conflict, right? So then they focus on these two guys and then keep walking and then turn around and focus on those two guys again. And one of the guys says, "Hey, what are you guys doing?" Now, Boom. Oh, now they got something. So now they go out of their way to keep turning their cameras back on these two, back on these two, back on these two. And you can hear them saying in the background, and I'm going to point this out when I make the video, they're talking about, oh, well, maybe we'll finally get someone to call the cops on us. Shh. Like, these guys are so horribly transparent and messed up. It's insane. And then there's going to be three pieces or three videos I'm going to cover in my next video. I'm going to start with that. And then the next one, and of course now my thing's frozen, so I can't look at it. The next one I want to do after that is, oh yeah, this guy's auditing a prison basically, and they got a couple of the inmates outside of the prison doing some work. And as he's walking by, one of the inmates is like, hey, why don't you leave that cop alone? Because, of course, he's talking crap to the cop the whole time. And I just thought it was beautiful that even the inmates are standing up for the cops against these morons. And then the last one I'm going to do, and this video should come out tomorrow night, is going to be a dude who's walking across the beach. Like, all right, so on this beach where he's at, all the way at the far end of the beach is a pier specifically for fishing, and you're only allowed to fish from the pier. So this guy, who we're supposed to believe wasn't looking for trouble and wasn't doing anything wrong, was just minding his own business, and all of a sudden, thank you, hey, the adults are talking, hey, how you doing, MSCB, Bergie? So anyway, this dude in this video I'm going to cover tomorrow is at the end is he's walking across the beach. Like, it's a long beach. There's a parking section right by the fishing pier, but he doesn't park there. He parks all the way at the other side of the beach. Again, you got to remember, these guys are not looking for conflict. They're not looking for trouble. They're just minding their own business. And all of a sudden, the horrible, evil cops harass them for no reason, right? So what does this guy do? He parks all the way on the other side of the beach so he can walk all the way across the beach to the fishing pier. Okay. And he's got his fishing pole in his hand. He has another huge pole with some kind of flag. When I'm editing it more, I'll see and take a better look at what it is. It doesn't look like Old Glory. I don't know what the flag is on the end, but I'll figure that out. But anyway, so once again, I got to paint the scene. Yes, he's got an AR-15 strapped to his chest and this huge fishing pole and this huge flag, and it's in Florida, and he's got his camera on filming the whole time, but he wasn't looking for trouble. He was just walking to the fishing pier with an AR-15 strapped to his chest and these big, huge things and his camera rolling the whole time. What an amazing coincidence that the cops just happened to randomly mess with him for no reason while he was doing those things. It's going to be fun to tear that apart tomorrow. Anyway, let's see. So, yeah. So those of you who saw that video, yeah, I'm going to tear that one apart. And the one I'm working on right now, I'm going to put out probably tomorrow. He wasn't looking for trouble. That's my whole point, right? That's their big excuse, their big story. I'm not looking for trouble. I'm literally just walking, minding my own business, and all of a sudden the cops come messing with me for no reason. You're walking all the way across the beach with an AR-15 and these huge pole. And this isn't even about the Second Amendment or guns or whether or not he legally could be carrying that. It's just the idea that you can't make me believe that you didn't go there on purpose to instigate an interaction with the cops when you do all of that. He could have parked closer to the pier if he just wanted to go fishing. He didn't have to have his camera on, strapped to his chest the whole time. Obviously, the dude purposely went out of his way to have a police interaction. And that's kind of the common theme, because like I said, I'm covering three things tomorrow, but they all kind of have that aspect to them. The aspect of like, oh, we're not looking for trouble. We're not doing anything wrong. And yet their actions in the video paint a completely opposite picture of their narrative, as always, right? That they're not doing anything. And of course, they're going out of their way to look for a problem. Open carry is allowed while fishing. Oh, thank you. Hey, the adults are talking for the super starting you strong. Yes, thank you. I appreciate that very much. Well, either way, I mean, we'll see tomorrow. You'll see the video when I post it tomorrow if you haven't already. But again, it isn't a question. This isn't about the Second Amendment or whether or not he was allowed to have the gun. It's the point that purposely going out of his way to park all the way on the other side of the beach so that he had to walk all the way across the beach with the giant stick connected to his fishing pole, an AR on his chest, and his camera running. And we're supposed to believe that he was absolutely shocked and surprised that the cops would say something to him. Like, come on, man. These guys are instigators, intentional. That's a huge part of the whole problem. In fact, I just watched an audit earlier today. It was a live feed from he's a newbie guy. I don't even know his name. He had maybe like 200 subs or something. I don't know. But what are the ones that have like no subs all have in common? He didn't harass the cops. He just filmed them and live streamed it. It didn't do anything. Now, his narration, as some of them tend to do, was like, oh, yeah, watch what these cops are going to do. Watch how bad these guys. But when he actually dealt with the cops, he's like, hey, no problem. What's up, right? So that's okay. Archangel 3, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Shoot first, ask questions later. I mean, joke-wise, yeah, but I mean, we don't want it to get to that point. I don't necessarily want these guys to get murdered or even necessarily arrested, but at the very least, well, arrested, yeah. But that also goes back to what we were saying, the other day about how their activities, and I was actually breaking down a news report from Arizona where their activities are specifically causing all these different states and local jurisdictions and cities and everything to pass ordinances that will limit our ability to film. And it's like them standing up for our ability to film is what's causing those rights to be taken away. Those rights aren't. These idiots are supposedly standing up for them. Do any of these people get signed waivers or lawyers consent for posting for profit? No. And in fact, let me look it up because that's something maybe we could all kind of get in on a little bit. There was this guy who was auditing something that I watched today, and a random person was driving by and saw him and said, hey, what you guys doing? And they're like, oh, we're filming. And he's like, oh, yeah, that's cool. Oh, hey, the adults are talking. Another super chat. Thank you. Governor, I really want to see you do some Long Island audit. I think your humor is worth him being amazing. He's an ass. Me? I've done a Long Island. I'll do him again. No problem. I love doing him. That was one of my better videos, actually. I put a lot of work into that one. So if you haven't seen it, check it out. It's on there. Having fun watching delete laws killing brain cells. Yeah, almost every minute I watch that guy, I get dumber, but so does he, which is why I keep watching him. Like the further he goes down his own rabbit hole, the more he gets, I don't know. It just seems like the more wrong he is, Dunning-Kruger, right? The more wrong he is, the more he doubles down on the things that he doesn't know what the heck he's talking about. Been watching and trying to participate more in live streams. Let me tell you something, killing time passing through. One of the things that made me start jumping onto these live streams more often is the fact that, like, when I first started posting videos, it was like I'd post it and then like maybe 2 or 3 days later, I'd go in the comments and see like if what kind of reactions I was getting and where we're at. And then I started doing more premieres because I thought that was cool that I could actually interact with the people in the chat, while watching the premiere and get instant feedback. But this is even better because I could talk to you guys. I could look at the chat and answer you right here and now without having to, okay, who am I going to, and then, it's just, I don't know. It seems like a much more interactive, much more fun, social kind of a thing. Chili Nut was getting aggressive at the city council meeting. His soft-set friend Joe Adkins lives in Ironton, so something's brewing. Oh, yeah, he's been doing the whole Ironton thing. That's what he's been doing. He's been doing that for days now. In fact, I think he's live right now. He's been live all day. This community is so accepting. That's, you know what? Hey, the adults are talking. That is, once again, one of the big reasons why I got involved and decided to sort of embrace the community because, like, they embraced me. I started making videos and it wasn't like, oh, okay, I'm just some guy putting out a video. No, it was like I started making videos about sovereign citizens, and then I got Law Tyke with Mike supporting me. I got Schrodinger supporting me. I got Kick supporting, God rest his soul. I got Kick supporting me. I got, and it just all Unclean Hands is on my side. All these guys, and it's like they just Vilified Freedom. All of these guys are like, yeah, man, yeah. We need more people doing this and being involved in this community, the better, because the fact of the matter is, ultimately, we could talk about whether we're trying to get their channels removed or this or that or whatever. But ultimately, the goal is, I said this yesterday, if anyone was watching that stream, it kind of feels to me like as if I went to some kind of, I don't know, like a seminar or something, and whoever the person giving the presentation, it turns out that they were just trying to sell some people on a stupid like pyramid scheme or something. And then on the way out, I see a line of people going to buy his stuff, and I'm trying to tell them, hey, no, this is a scam. Don't fall for it. Don't give them your money. It's like we're exposing the scam. The first video I ever saw of yours was when you were running from the auditors like they were zombies. Oh, yes. Yeah, that was my Halloween special this year. Or last year. Yeah, it was that one was a lot of work too. In fact, that's one of the ones that I was thinking about because I've been trying to figure out what I'm going to do for my channel members. And I was thinking maybe taking some of my raw footage, like when it's not edited together, so you just see me going, and then it cut to just the phone with nobody there. No expectation of privacy in public, whatever. I'm just trying to come up with different things. He says he's suing the local TV station. Many residents are very upset with him for tarnishing the town's reputation. Yeah, he says he's going to sue the TV station for, what was it? He said defamation. I forget who it was. I think it was Blue Bacon. Somebody broke it down because I did too. I mean, I didn't break it down, but I actually saw the news footage he was referring to. And basically, he's saying that like these news reporters are defaming his name because he was outside filming near a school. I don't know the facts. I wasn't there. I just know the news report and then his side of the story and then what other people who looked into it saw. But basically, I guess from the way I understand it, he was filming near a school. The school went on a lockdown. The news reported that the lockdown was because of him. And so he's saying that's defamation of character. But when you look at the timeline of events, it makes sense that they would have thought that the lockdown was a result of his actions, blah, 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 whatever. But that's a whole nother thing. Saw your Crocodile Sessions, a few channels, and it's hilarious. Let's see. Greetings. Hello, Mr. Shadow Kitty. DL's best stirring up chaos and then driving to another town. It's not defamation if it's true. Yeah, I mean, he doesn't know anything. I mean, that guy is so dumb. And like looking at it was a soft lockdown. Yeah, see, J Car, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah, you read the same stuff I did. Um, Probably. I mean, there it only is what it is. It's what he said, the news report, and then, like I said, I think it was Blue Bacon who broke it down. Um, but anyway, so what I was saying earlier is I saw a video today of somebody who was auditing, and some guy drove up and was like, "Hey, what are you guys filming?" And he was like, "Oh, I'm not fooling nothing." And then the dude who was driving the car was like, "Okay, well, look, I'm a YouTuber too, and I'm telling you, if you're gonna post this and make money off of it, and I see my face on your video, I'm gonna sue you because you don't have my permission to film me." And as soon as I saw that, I found his page and then sent him a link to the video. So hopefully that'll get something going. Let's see. Killing time passing through. Hezekiah, with full disclosure, I was in a very controversial chat and I'm trying to work past it. Some of the others I considered my chat friends are mad at me. Sorry about that, but I don't know. I don't know, man. It's I don't know what you said. I don't know what happened, but hopefully, I mean, to me, I've he was a certified. Yeah, okay, MSC Bieber. You know exactly what I'm talking about. You know, he was a certified professional trainer and a fitness model. Yeah, that was the guy they were filming, and then he was like, "Come on, I'm gonna." You have to ignore the haters and move on. Yeah, for me, when it comes to this is, I mean, it's a little off subject, but for what's going on in the chat, what you guys are discussing right now, one of the things that I knew and understood fully before I even started doing this, and anyone who's getting involved in this stuff has got to understand, and it doesn't even have to be a controversial subject like this. It doesn't have to be, you know, cop watchers or cop haters. I've seen this happen to reaction channels, people who just listen to rock music and talk about the song. I mean, no matter who you are or what you're doing, if you're doing it on social media, you're going to get people. Well, first of all, you got your trolls, but then you're going to get people who are just going to. It's almost like these days with comedy, right? You tell a joke, and if one person in the audience hates it, you can end up getting canceled, right? It's this modern cancel culture thing that's going on, and everything else. You gotta either watch what you say or just be thick-skinned and get ready, for the backlash if there is any. Um, that would account for the ridiculous tan and the white lipstick. I actually said this earlier because Delete Law's lips are always so white. Um, oh no, hey, oh, you know what? I didn't even realize. Hello, James the Mick. I am in StreamYard. Let me get to YouTube so I can take care of you. Because if there's anyone who deserves a wrench, it's definitely you. Let's see. Hey, the adults are talking. Bam, there you go, hon. You're all set. All right. Do. All right, say something so I can see you got your blue. There's a delay, so I don't know. All right, let me go back to. There you go. Ranches, ranches, ranches. Yeah, I don't know. I've had some. Hey, look, all I got to say about my mods and all that is my only rule. As long as you guys stick to this whole idea of don't kick anybody out just because they disagree. Make sure that they're. His lips are horrible and he talks in whispers. Oh, yeah, that's right. I was talking about him and his white lips. So he was talking about today on his live stream. He was going off about how he's like on this on top of being a legal scholar, right? He's also a nutritional guru. And I was like, wait a minute. Your lips are always white. That's an iron deficiency. Either that or he's anemic, which I mean, I don't know. But you're going to sit here and call yourself a nutritional expert when you may have an iron deficiency. I mean, white lips is not. Let's see. Stephen Alley. Eating at McDonald's, yeah, that'll do it. Hey, 34 in the house. We doubled quickly. Yes, that's great. Pick it up, 35 now. His lips are white because he puts foundation on them. I wouldn't be surprised. That dude has so many problems. Yeah, he's definitely full of himself. That is not a question. That's not a theory. That dude thinks that he is the smartest, greatest, most amazing dude ever, and but the problem, well, not the problem. There's 1,000 problems with Chili DeCastro. But one of the things that causes, I think, his ego is the fact that, like, he always likes to brag about how he's this big movie star and producer and all this stuff. And he is listed on IMDb. He has worked in some legitimate stuff, but not much. I mean, obviously, he tried to be a big Hollywood guy. It didn't work out. And so now he decided to just try and sell his nonsense. I mean, he's got $25 for his stupid trifold, which is made out of indestructible magic paper. We've all heard that one. And trying to, like, always, we got to get rid of cuffs because the handcuffs are torture, because handcuffs are torture, because handcuffs are torture. But if you listen to what he's actually saying, one, he flat out lies about handcuffs. His big argument is that he loves to tell people, did you know that the reason handcuffs were invented was during the slave days so that they could put them on slaves and beat them? Oh. You mean when handcuffs were invented in 80 BC by the Romans? Or are you talking about the leather straps that were tied to people's hands to bind them together before handcuffs invented? Or are you talking about the handcuffs that were invented in 1912, which are our current set? Like, it's just a flat out lie. Handcuffs have been around way before this country and way before slavery. And again, modern handcuffs were invented in 1912. So that wasn't done for the slaves. That was already long since over. And so not only does he flat out lie about them, but if you really listen to his entire argument, what you realize is that he's not trying to ban handcuffs because they're torture. He's not trying to ban handcuffs because they're horrible, evil. He's trying to ban handcuffs so he could sell his patent for Velcro handcuffs. It's a scam. It's a sales technique. He's just another nut. Hello, just another nut. That was perfect timing. You popped in right when I was looking for the words to describe Chili. Just another nut. Delete laws. He doesn't know anything. Self-proclaimed and nothing more, and definitely less. Yes, that guy is like a turd beyond turds. Trying to make a buck and using this whole thing. And again, it seems like everybody, in our community just keeps harping on this guy lately, but it's because he won't stop. Like I said, he's been on live all day, every day this week so far, and still is. In fact, I think he is right now. I wonder if Chili ever had a true friend. I don't know. I mean, supposedly that dude that he was in the car with, that got pulled over that time, but that's just and here's another thing. Here's another thing about him specifically. He doesn't even realize that he showed this. He uses the testimonials. Okay, see, that's what I was about to get into. He goes around doing all these interviews, right, with these people who've been through these terrible things, and he coaches them through. I mean, it isn't even like they're on camera saying things, although there was the one with the guy and he was like I was kidnapped by the police after they pulled me over for no reason because they wanted to put torture cuffs on me. Like, it's so obvious. And then when that's not happening, Chili's right there when the people are just talking. Oh, well, I got pulled over. You mean you got kidnapped? Yeah, I was kidnapped. I mean, he's feeding the lines to these guys. And on top of that, he loves to brag about the fact that he has a history. And there is a certain amount of truth to this. You can do your research and see. But he likes to brag about how he has a certain amount of history in Hollywood, right? He's filming these things and coaching the people what to say. And he has experience with actual filmmaking. He has experience with actual acting. You think he doesn't know exactly what he's doing? He proves himself through his own words that he's a liar. He says it flat out. Hey man, you knew you could trust me because I'm an actor and a producer. And so none of my YouTube videos, movies, would possibly be scripted. Oh no, I don't know anything about how to do that. I've just made 3 movies and been in 4 TV shows, but I don't know anything about how to produce a film for YouTube mass consumption. Everything about the guy is a walking contradiction and a puddle of lies. And just in general skis. Oh yeah, he always cries when he thinks about the horrible, torturable handcuffs. That's for him, and this is for him too. Boom, there you go. That's for Chile. um, yeah, the dude is something else. Uh, he's a bad actor. That would be an insult to bad actors. Uh, Fake Guru Friday. Yeah. And there's certain people that I wish would like get hip to this whole situation. Like, love, like them or hate them. I would love to hear what Ben Shapiro would have to say about some of these frauditors. Um, Interviews with victims of the police brutality. Residents of Ironton, Ohio, for reasons. Yeah, VW Star. Actually, it's literally exactly the same thing he did all day yesterday. That was He was doing interviews in McDonald's, and they kicked him out. So then he went to Taco Bell and started doing them. But my favorite one that he did, I think it was yesterday, early yesterday, or it may have been the day before, because he's been doing this all week. But yeah, Shapiro would have a field day with these idiots. But what this was my favorite one out of all the interviews he's done. And I mentioned this on my stream yesterday too. This guy is telling his story of his interaction with the police, right? And he says, I got pulled over. And when I looked and saw the police officer walking up to the car, he had his gun out. That's what the guy said. And then Chili says, oh, really? So for how long did the gun hold the cop, or how long did the cop hold the gun to your head? The guy didn't say the cop held the gun to his head. But Chili fed him that line. So then he's like, well, yeah, he pulled out his taser. But Chili just ran over that too quick, didn't bring that back. My mother is a judge, and she would have a field day with them. Yep. Can we get lawyers in our group to find the people whose images have been monetized and back them seeking payment off of every click? Well, I mean, I'm sure, because we got plenty, right? We got Law Talk with Mike. We got Artie's Corporate Fiction. We got Kicks in Law School right now. We got Natalie, Lawyer Chick. And we got Debbie Davis on our side now. And I mean, anyone who, I would think pretty much any lawyer would be on our side as far as actually knowing and understanding the law. But yeah, more of me making fun of dummies because I'm so good at it. What's up, Elweed Skidor? Yeah, well, like I said, I'm working on one right now that I'm gonna put out tomorrow. Um, Another thing that led me to doing more of these live streams is the fact that my output, well, for a long time, I was doing maybe like one video a month. Then when I started doing trying to do them, I was trying to do them daily. But then I noticed that the quality started to suffer a little bit because I was just trying to rush and get them out and rush and get them out and rush and get them out. So this kind of balances it out a little bit. It gives me a little bit more time to really fine tune and tighten up the actual videos I'm editing together. But in the meantime, keep my audience entertained and engaged, and you know, keep everything. If you make me the star of your video, I must consent and get a cut. Yeah, right. Any of those lawyers would destroy them. Yeah, they would. Yeah, but that's why I was talking earlier about the exercise guru dude who was being filmed by frauditors and was like, "Hey, I'm telling you, don't put my image in your video." And then I sent him a link to that video. I found him because he said his name on the thing, and so who knows of a witch named Regina Reagan who needs a throat punched. Yeah, Prince Jedi Master. I like that. I got I always use some of my fans might know what I'm talking about. I have a witch clip that I use whenever I'm covering somebody and they say there's no expectation of privacy. I cut to a photograph of a witch, like she's casting the magic spell, because those are the magic words. There is no expectation of privacy in public. So that's always fun. Well, you talking about witches. Which witch is which? But yeah, I love making fun of these guys, and they drive me so nuts. And it also gets a little bit difficult sometimes because I get so angry and so frustrated that I have to remind myself that I'm on a platform where I can take that frustration out through the videos. I don't have to just sit here and stew on it and be like, oh, these guys make me so mad. I can't even handle looking at these videos anymore. Sometimes I feel that, but then I just remind myself that's what's great about having this platform. I could take all that rage and put it into tearing these guys a new bunghole because they deserve it. Let's see. What else do we got? If you meet, oh no, I already read all those. Yeah, what's up? Hanging out. Yeah. Well, that's it. This is kind of like last week, Saturday, which turned out great because Skeptic ended up showing up and coming on board, and he was hanging out for a while. But kind of the same thing that happened last Saturday. It's Friday night. The weather's crap. There's nothing going on. Like, why not? I'll go live. Nobody else is on live right now, so that's one of the things I try not to do too, is to overlap with other people. Again, not a competition thing, but I like to watch their videos. Do his videos meet YouTube standards? Whose? VW. Chili Willie the Sovtard was offered a waiver for $10,000 fight. As you can imagine, he wouldn't, Glenn Serio style. I'm an MMA fighter. I'll meet you in a ring anytime, but only in a ring. Yeah, he always. Today he was talking about like, oh, well, everyone thinks that I just want to beat everybody up, but I don't want to beat everybody up. I just got a really bad ego. At least I admit that. So, okay. Then quit threatening people. And he said, well, the only reason I do it is because I know that they're not going to do anything about it. In other words, he only, like we always theorized, they talk like that to cops because they know the cop isn't going to do anything, which is great because their videos are always trying to paint the cops as these horrible, evil people that'll beat you up. But they do what they do to cops because they know the cops aren't going to beat them up. They know the cops aren't going to do anything. And half the time, unless you're talking about Casey Camera Boy or Silence Boy, they usually don't mess with regular people unless the cops are right there and will stop them, like fake news, real bunghole, like he did a few months back where he saw that big group of cops, and he went up to him and started talking crap, and people in the crowd outside were just like, "Hey, what are you doing? Leave these cops alone. They ain't doing nothing. They're not bothering anybody. They didn't bother you." And then he's like trying to start fights with these guys because he knows the cops are going to step in and pull the dude off of him, even though he's the one who started with the cops. The one auditor I can't watch is Auditing America. What's the Third Amendment? There are 27, and I would like to see him recite all of them. Okay. James Amick, did you catch? I talked about this last night too. The fact that even he doesn't know the Third Amendment. He's that's been Anselmo's thing lately. Emma, what's up? She's a nut. I love her. So the whole thing with Anselmo, his new thing has always been, what's the Third Amendment? What's the Third Amendment? Can you recite the Third Amendment? And then at one point, he actually talks in one of his videos about what the Third Amendment says. And he said that, well, you guys don't know the Third Amendment, but I do. The Third Amendment means that it's illegal for you to quarantine a military officer in your house. Quarantine? That's what you think the Third Amendment says? You don't know the Third Amendment either, you idiot. Not only is that not what the Third Amendment says, but it doesn't even make sense. Like, quarantine? It's illegal to quarantine a military personnel in your home? Like, what if your cousin's in the military and he's, especially, when the whole Rona started and everyone was in quarantine for 2 weeks if they tested positive. Now it's illegal to put him in quarantine in your house because he's in the military? It doesn't even make sense what he said, let alone the fact that it's wrong. That guy who was in jail in the Third Amendment thing. Quartering troops, yes. It's about quartering troops. Because back in the old days, the military could come to your house and say, hey, well, we're just going to stay here for a while. And you couldn't stop them. Now, because of the Third Amendment, that's illegal. But it hasn't come up in over 100 years. So that's why most cops don't think about it, because it never happens. Hey, YouTube staff, resting up after 2 days of concerts. Back tomorrow. I'm working an hour and a half today. Yeah, you were telling me I never get to go to your live streams because I'm always at a show. I hope at least you're seeing good bands, not these. Well, I don't want to get into that right now. Mystery Soft Sit Theater. That's why I couldn't find you. You see my little scroll at the bottom? I was going to put your name in there, but you were gone. You changed your name. Well, welcome. Here, let me fix that right quick, too. Where are you at? Boom. Yeah, I was worried about you for a minute when I couldn't find your channel earlier. So how you doing? Oh, my God, they disappeared today. Oh, hell yeah. Drowning pool and all that remains. Okay, good. Let's see. 18 copyrights. Seriously? That's why I couldn't find you? Because of Zebra? I knew it. I was so lost. Who are they now? Hello, Hezekiah Chat. Hello, Active LA. All right, hey, the adults are talking. You got lost on what? Drowning Pool and all that remains? That's Emma talking about the band she just saw. I like well, I mean, I like heavy metal when I listen to heavy metal, so I don't necessarily put them in that category, but they're heavy. Heavier than hard rock, and lighter than Slayer. Well, thanks, Zebra. Now I'll have to pay attention to your new name. Yeah. All right, everybody, if you don't realize, Mystery Soft Sit Theater, which I actually really like that, is Zebra the bicycle frauditor. But Tom Zebra gave him so much crap that this new channel, I'm done, folks. I've had it. Good luck to you all. Hey, man, you can listen. Don't quit, man. Just look. I know you've got a good thing going right now with your Tom Zebra thing, but you have a good thing going with your style of content. It's unique. The way that you do the voiceover and the narration, it's different than what we're all doing. You could just start picking up on other people besides Tom Zebra, man, and just start tearing them apart. You don't have to give up. Next month, Fozzie. So let me tell you a story about Fozzie. I was living in Wisconsin at the time, in this tiny little podunk town in the middle of Nowheresville, Wisconsin, nothing but farms around me forever. And there was I don't think it was an episode of Dynamite. I think it was a pay-per-view. It was in Chicago. And that night, Jericho decided Fuzzy was going to play at the bar across the street from my house at the time. So, of course, I went. But that was just like out of nowhere. Fozzy's just like going to play in this podunk little bar in the middle of Nowheresville, Wisconsin. It was great. One of the coolest shows ever because it was such a tiny little place. Jericho was freaking sweating on me. It was beautiful. Only did it to raise awareness of Tom Zebra and Ricky Monday. Well, you definitely did that. So you were a success. Silence Boy is back. Yeah, I know. Whatever. Cannibal Corpse. Okay, now wait a minute, James. Hold on a second. Hold on, I'm going to try to do it. Let's see. Oh, wow. See, now I'm going to... All right. Hold on. Something inside me. It is coming out. Yeah, man. The Cannibal Corpse. Clear the throat. Yes. I loved it when they were in Ace Ventura. I couldn't believe it. He walks in and I'm like, that's Cannibal Corpse. That's Chris Barnes. Oh my God. That was insane. 30 likes. Hey, I'll take it. It's better than 0. That's for dang sure. Back to work at Telemundo. All right. So, back to work. Tell Telemundo about Silence Boy. Yeah, gotcha. That's cool. So let's see. Oh, Jay Carr went to bed. Oh, good night, Jay Carr. Thanks for dropping in. Always good to have you around. Yeah, so that's it. I actually, if you look back at my videos, like go way back to before I started even like doing the sovereign citizen stuff, my most recent Halloween video was the zombies coming and the zombies were frauditors. But hey, the adults are talking. Thank you. What's the EVI Sevi boy is back? Oh, yeah. EVCV. Silence Boy is back. Well, that's what they're saying. Let me take a quick look right now and see where we're at with him. Because they said he got his channel back, but I think it's demonetized. I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, I'm not finding his channel. Oh, wait a minute. Oh. No, I don't know. I'm still not... I don't see him up here unless he changed his name. Home freezing and man of constant sorrow. My phone is new and apparently very sensitive. Well, please take care of your phone. Oh, anyway, this is what I was talking about with my Halloween thing. So, not this year Halloween, but the Halloween before that. If you scroll back through my videos, I have a Rock Guy Halloween special, and it's me singing all heavy metal songs and like Halloween appropriate music. And I do Cannibal Corpse. I do who else? I think Slayer's on there. I'm trying to remember all. I mean, it was 2 years ago. All the bands that I did, but the whole point behind the video wasn't even me singing it. It was if I could remember all the lyrics without looking them up. Like I got a thing where I put just a bunch of names of a bunch of songs in a hat, and then I picked the song out, and then I try to sing it from memory. Um, yeah, I don't know. It's whatever. Death, man. Chuck, forget it. Rest in peace. Are you aware that of the Dr. Dave beef with Clipboard Boy? I've been hearing a lot of different things with Dr. Dave recently. I don't know, man. Tella Klein was giving him some shade a few months ago. There's something going on with that guy. I don't know him personally. I don't know what his deal is. His videos are entertaining to me. I don't know. There's a Silent Boy, but it's a meditation guy. Yeah. Oh well, that's fine with me if we don't see him again, because it was bad enough what he was doing, but what they do in general. But what he was doing took it way over the line. Using, there's a special room in hell for Silence Boy and Glenn Serio and those guys. Like they're in their own plane, beyond just being, annoying assholes. Like way beyond that. Hey, Patty, great to see you. Tomorrow I'm reacting to their cover of Ain't Going Down Till the Sun Comes Up. We'll post it. All right. What's your view on Screamo? It has its place. I'm not crazy about it, but I don't hate it. I mean, it's, okay. When it comes to my opinion of music in general, my stuff, like the background music is always me. If you go, I got a bunch of heavy metal songs. I got jazz, I got blues, whatever, rock, country. I do it all. My whole thing with any genre of music is I don't care what genre it is. If it's good, it's good. Even if it's not something that I'm into, I can appreciate if there's talent involved what it is. As a musician myself, I could listen to somebody who could freaking play. And even if I don't like what they're playing, I can appreciate how well they're doing it. So I don't know. Every video on Audit Them seems to be that puppet. YouTube it. It's weird. Yeah, Audit Them. I did Audit Them too. Who's the guy who dresses up like an old lady and calls himself Grandma? Oh, Grandma just wants to say hi to everybody. That dude's a nut too. Led Zeppelin is a standard that all are judged against. Yeah, well, you know what? I've always said this. There's certain bands like Led Zeppelin, Pink Floyd, the Beatles. I would also put Radiohead in that category. There are certain bands that no matter what you think of them, if somebody says to me, like, Led Zeppelin's my favorite band, I can't argue with that. If somebody says, well, Pink Floyd's my favorite band, I can't argue with that either. I mean, there's just certain groups that are so good that you're right. It just, they changed things, and made everything different. Let's see. The Misfits were better with Danzig. I do not. Okay, well, let me put it to you this way. I have on vinyl every Misfits record with Danzig. I have on no format any of the ones without, if that means anything. And then Sam Hain, and then that eventually became Danzig, right? Shopping today, feeling sick. It's been a bad week. Yeah. Spanky Pants is an idiot and he's vulgar. Yeah. Sometimes I'm that's the one thing I gotta say. Give me a Grateful Dead 38-minute Dark Star any day. China Cat Sunflower's mine. That's Um, I have Striper to Hell with the Devil on vinyl. Wow, you're going old school, Jedi Master. Striper to hell with the devil. That was amazing stuff, man, back then when they first came out. And the big controversy, I don't know if you remember, but there was a famous photograph at the time of Striper hanging out with King Diamond, and everyone was like, oh no, how could he do that? Get the hell out of here. Um, let's see. Yes is your favorite band? Say yes to yes. That's what we always say. And then if you since we're gonna talk about music a little bit, I'll tell you what. I got in an argument with a friend of mine once, and if anyone agrees with him, let me know. But to me, yeah, I was also born in 1973. See, that's why you're the Prince Jedi Master, because you were born the same year I was, and believe me, I know why you. Now that you said that, yeah, we were the perfect age when that fake movie came out, man. Forget it. I saw El Nino. Ugh, that wasn't fun. China Cat has always been my favorite Dead song. Yep, that's some good stuff. 1971. Hey, there you go. Um, let's see. I'm trying to get caught up in the chat a little bit. Auditing them proved he was ill-informed and treats the FOIA Act as if it's the Bible. He's a one-trick pony. I got a FOIA request. I got a FOIA request. I got a FOIA request. That's so old. When I did my uh, Sean Paul Reyes Long Island audit video, I did this bit where, and you guys who were born in the 70s are going to know what I'm talking about. In the video, I did a bit where when he says, I need a FOIA request, I cut to an old KTEL Records commercial. And now from KTEL Records, Frauditor's greatest hits, FOIA request. I don't answer questions. What I don't remember what the whole list was, but it was cool. All right, so what's funny though, Cam Good, is that I actually saw Primus with Buckethead at Ozfest. That was amazing. Tool is they're a whole nother level of music. Like they're beyond, man. They're their own genre, kind of like Pink Floyd, but in the more heavier sense. One more Saturday night. Yep. Yeah, El Nino, China Cat. Yep. Same night as Drowning Pool. Oh, I thought you were talking about you were old enough to remember El Nino, the weather crisis. Let's see. So the first movie at the age of 3, been hooked ever since. They borrowed Empire when I was in school and showed it during lunchtime. We actually went on a field trip. My school took me on a field trip to the movie theater to watch Empire Strikes Back. That was amazing. Frauditor Trolls video on Eli. I'm pretty sure I've watched all of Frauditor Trolls videos. I'm not sure specifically which one that was. If Audit Them was autistic, that would be acceptable. Yeah. Actually, that's like sometimes there were a lot of rumors back in the day that Glenn Serio might have mental problems because he just acts too crazy. Like maybe there's actually something wrong with the guy. Need to start billing Softsets for wasting resources, getting an ambulance for an unneeded ice pack. Saw Aerosmith 6 rows from the stage when Jackal opened for him. Wow. That must have been a good show. Best show I ever saw was Queen at Madison Square Garden. I can't compete with that, man. It's I don't know. I never got to see them. By the time, when Freddie died, that was it. But I gotta say the best show, like actual show I've ever seen was Tool. Like the actual show they put on was amazing. Metallica, Guns N' Roses, saw them, AC/DC. Um, Man, I've seen so many bands. I've seen Pink Floyd. Um, it's a lot of underground stuff that was going on in the '90s, like No Means No. Um, I okay. Does anyone in the chat know who Wesley Willis was? Ozfest was always good. I used to go every year. Rush always put on a decent show. I saw Rush. They were fantastic, fantastic. Um, in the UK. Christopher O'Connor, you know Wesley Willis? Yeah, to me, the '90s, music wise, were my '60s. That's how I always explained it. Like it seemed like every week there was something going on with music that I was interested in. Whether it was like listening to death metal and there's a new death metal record coming out, all those bands first hit in the '90s, Obituary, Autopsy, Deicide, all that. We were still hot on the heels of Slayer and Raining Blood and Metallica when they were still good. But on top of that, like I was a DJ at raves and house music and techno and all this hardcore and all this stuff was all just blowing up, new records coming out every day. It was amazing. And on top of that, even the pop music that was going on then, which I hated then, when you listen to it compared to modern pop, is great. And well, 80s pop is even better. Yeah. Rest in peace, Neil Peart. I was a fan of Antichrist Superstar. Let me tell you something about Antichrist Superstar. Antichrist Superstar. Twiggy, no, not Twiggy. What am I talking about? What the hell was his name? They should limit the number of misdemeanors someone can get before it becomes a felony. Well, that was almost like when they did the 3 strikes you're out rule for a while there. Wesley Willis would end his songs with slogans like "Things go better with Coke" or "Home of the Whopper." It would always be "Rock over London, rock out Chicago," and then the slogan. But he would always say that first. Okay, you guys know Wesley Willis. All right, so let me tell you my Wesley Willis story. Okay, I went to see Jello Biafra. If you don't know, the lead singer of the Dead Kennedys, right? So I went to see Jello Biafra, and whatever his opening was, and then he took a break, and then during the break, everyone goes to the bathroom. So I'm in the bathroom, and I'm standing in line because everybody all went at the same time, right? So there's like 30 guys in the bathroom. We're all standing there. I'm standing up against the wall. I saw Black Sabbath a couple times too. So anyway, I'm standing up against the wall, and directly across from me is a stall, right? And you could tell that there was someone in the stall. You could see the feet down there, and you can hear splash. Whoa. Splash. Whoa. And then after that goes on for a couple minutes, the stall's here. I'm standing right in front of it. The stall door. Now, pretend the camera like you're me, okay? The stall door flies open. Wesley Willis walks up to me and goes, "Man, I just took a mean shit." And that was how I met Wesley Willis. That was my big celebrity moment in life. But yeah, and then after that, we went and he did the intro for Jello Biafra. "This guy is about to come out here and whoops the camel's ass with a belt. Ladies and gentlemen, Jello Biafra." So that was fun, man. That was great fun. Sabaton opening for Accept. Wow. you're going way back there. You and your coworkers would print out Wesley Willis lyrics just to see how crazy he was. Enjoy the stream. I'll try to catch another one later, but I'm heading off for the night. Everyone has fun. Blah, blah, blah. Thank you for coming to join us and hanging out. Like I said, this was just the last minute and nothing better to do on a Friday night stream, but thank you for joining us and anyone who's in here. And thank you. And it's good. Have a good night. That's a terrible story. LOL. Yeah, it was. But at the same time, it was, if you know Wesley Willis, that is such a him move. Like, people who know Wesley, when I tell them that story, they're like, dude, that's so cool. You know, it's almost like if somebody got super kicked by Shawn Michaels. It's like, dude, you got kicked in the face? Yeah, but it was Shawn Michaels. So it's okay. Let's see. The first Eagles concert, I met him. You met who? Oh, you met Michael Stanley. Okay, I didn't finish reading that. Nice. Jane's Addiction were cool. Yeah, Jane's Addiction was great. They had a lot of great tunes, man. And it always kind of made me mad that all you ever hear is Jane Says and Big Caught Stealing. Like, they had so many great songs. But I mean, that's true for a lot of bands, right? They only got like the one or two songs you hear on the radio. And sometimes those aren't even their best songs. You love me and my content. Oh, well, I love you too. Thank you. I appreciate that very much. You have no idea. I whooped Spider-Man's ass. My favorite was Cut the Mullet. Go to the barber and tell him you're sick of looking like an asshole. Cut the mullet. That was great. I whipped Batman's ass was good too. But you know what? For anybody who don't know, you're gonna find out right now. I'm gonna show you. It's a live stream. I'll take the copyright strike. Hold on a second. We got to do this now since we were on the subject. Let's see. This is going to be fun. All right, here we go. Hold on. Oh, Will Grabber, $5. Late here on the East Coast. Till next time. Thank you for the super chat. You have a good night, buddy. All right, now we're about to go somewhere. Those of you who know. And you're going to be like, wow. Those of you who don't know, put on your seatbelts because I'm about to play a Wesley Willis song for you. I'll take the copyright strike because I don't care. Or maybe just later on I'll edit the stream and just cut this part out. But you guys got to see this. This is, if you don't know who Wesley Willis is, you're not going to forget after tonight. Believe me. Oh boy, this is going to be great. All right. Is it on there? Check it out.
Suck a male camel's dick. Suck a hyena's ass. Suck a government's cock. Suck a snow leopard's ass. Suck a rhino's dick. Suck a caribou's ass. Suck a caribou's ass. Suck a caribou's ass. Suck a caribou's ass. Suck a hippo's cock. Suck a honey badger's ass. Suck a llama's balls. Suck a Labrador retriever's dick. Suck a caribou's ass. Suck a caribou's ass. Suck a caribou's ass. Suck a caribou's ass.
All right, and just real quick, take a look at this guy. I don't know if you could see him. I could get a better picture of him up here because this will really put into context my story about how he came up to me in the bathroom. Right, This is what the dude looked like. What the heck? I wanted to go to images. No. All right. There we go. That's Wesley Willis right there. That's what he looked like when I met him. Right there. He was really tall too, and he was a big dude all the way around. So that was the daddy of rock and roll, Wesley Willis. Rock out, Chicago, rock over London, rock out Chicago. Pepsi, the choice of a new generation. Who killed Bambi? Yeah, I don't know. I just spit my water. This is so punk. Exactly. That's exactly right. Yeah, man, he was something else, dude. And there was a local Chicago band that I was really into at that time too, called the Blue Meanies, and he would introduce them sometimes, and he would get the crowd pumped. Just Wesley coming out, just doing what he does, but talking about, and then, oof, man, good stuff. Good advice. Give it a try. Yeah. What did I miss? I was jamming out. I missed most of the. If I need to be careful, buddy. Yeah, here's the thing. I've noticed this with something like what I just did. I don't think that, and I think actually right now, I think technically Jello Biafra owns all of his stuff. I don't think Jello would take me down. They'd strike me, but that's different. Like when you get a copyright, it's not necessarily that your video is going to be taken down. It all depends on if they request it be taken down. But if they just give you a general copyright, basically what that means is if you get any, basically that you can't monetize the video. That's all. He was homeless till this East Coast tour. Yeah, he had a lot of problems. Like that dude was, once you actually, he was a pioneer. That was 90, because he was in a band before that, and he was the lead singer, but that didn't quite, work out. So then he went on solo, and that was one of his solo tunes. So that was probably 96, 97, something like that. Yeah, he was in the mid to late 90s, and then he passed away. And then Jello Biafra put out a documentary about him, and I bought that DVD, and getting to know his story was actually kind of sad. But he was a fun guy. He was a good guy. He used to, the way he actually got known and got signed was he literally would record music. The guy was so prolific, it's insane. He'd make CDs and carry them around in a bag and just walk up and down the streets of Chicago, going into every record store. Like, hey, you want to sell my CD? I'll give you 20 copies and you sell them. You walk up to people on the street. Hey, you want to buy my CD? And I didn't know if you noticed when I showed you the picture. I'll bring it back up real quick. He has this big knot on his head. Where is it? On here. Oh, okay. I gotta see this. He's got this big knot on his head right here. See that? Here it's smaller when he's younger, but it keeps getting bigger because whenever he would meet somebody, he wouldn't say hi. He would say rock, say roll. Now give me a headbutt, and then bam. And that was his thing. And that's how he would greet people, everybody, all the time. The Melvins, dude. Now you're getting deep. I saw them, and one of the things that I really dug about the Melvins concert I went to was that particular night that I saw him, and I only saw him. Well, no, I did. I actually saw him twice, but the one time I saw him was a little club in the city in Chicago, and Buzzo came out, and obviously, the band, and they all had their big black muumuus on, and they set their set list was specifically laid out so that, like, the first song that they opened with was one of their slowest songs, and the very last song they played was one of their fastest, heaviest songs. And in between, they built up and they never stopped playing. They would just go into these little jam sessions in between songs to tie them together. So it was just this hour of the music just getting more intense and more intense and more intense and more intense and more intense. And it didn't end until the show was over. It just kept building and building. It was amazing. Yeah, the Melvins, the Pixies, that's another one. Absolutely. Man, see, this is turning into a music stream, which is fine with me. I love music. I was born in 73, so I'm 49. And wait, there's Wesley again. Hold on. If any of you guys don't know who the Melvins are, I could show you a picture of King Bozo. He was great too. Sorry about that, guys. I accidentally clicked the wrong thing. Yes, experiencing minor technical difficulties. Yes, Nate from New Zealand. How you doing? Yeah, sorry about that. I accidentally closed StreamYard. No, I clicked on the wrong tab and closed StreamYard altogether. Dropkick Murphys, man. You guys know your music, man. I love this. Says, oh, tripped over a plug. No, the dog almost did earlier, but I didn't. Let me get back to my cranberry juice. And I whipped the camel's ass with a belt. Ladies and gentlemen, the Blue Meanies. Yeah, man, I loved that stuff. I saw the Blue Meanies a bunch of times. Being in Chicago in the 90s, I saw the Pumpkins like 4 or 5 times. Those are always good shows. But yeah, what else you got? Anybody want to talk about anything else or keep talking about music or get into something different? It's a Friday night. Come on, man. What do we got? Hey, bro, just waiting for my weed drive, but otherwise I'm fine. Right on. Hey, all the bands we're talking about probably would work pretty well with that. Yeah, just having some fun, man. Let's see what else we got. I got that one. Let me clean up some of these tabs so I don't accidentally click the wrong thing again. There we go. All right. All right, looking good. Let's see. A lot of decent bands came out of Boston. Berklee School of Music was there. Yeah, we're just another band out of Boston on the road trying to make ends meet. Living in the bars, sleeping in our cars, something like that. You had to bring up Gigi Allen? Seriously? Let me tell you something. I don't know if you know this. G.G. Allen's real name, like his actual name on his birth certificate, was Jesus Christ Allen. And he thought it was hilarious when he would go on talk shows. And of course, he was aware of this and did it on purpose. But when talk shows hosts would ask him who he thought he was, he'd say, oh, I'm Jesus Christ. And they would think he was being, and he knew that they thought that, but he literally was just saying his real name. That guy was, it was, Iggy Pop's different, completely different, because G.G. Allen, he started taking drugs, but eventually the drugs took him, would be the best way to say it. Iggy Pop eventually figured out that was a bad idea, you know. Been trying to remember G.G. Allen's name for the last 10 minutes. Yeah. That guy was like, it became like dangerous. Don't go to one of his shows, man. He's going to poop on the floor and throw it on you. You didn't know what he was going to do. Here's how I always like to say it. The best way, if any of you guys don't know who G.G. Allen was, in my opinion, the best way to describe him, to sum it up, would be to say that G.G. Allen actually was, like for real, was in the 80s what people thought Marilyn Manson was in the 90s. If you know what I'm talking about, if that makes sense to you. Iggy Pop, I love Iggy Pop, although I got a copyright strike when I used 2 seconds of a Stooges song. But, oh well. I was just saying sweet, succulent, just a little. He was punk. Yeah, absolutely. But again, if you dig deep enough and start like understanding, not just like punk rock in terms of, because a lot of people have this idea of punk rock being this just abrasive type of music. And it's like the first 2-3 albums from the Talking Heads were considered punk. Blondie was considered punk before she started doing like disco types beats, Heart of Glass, stuff like that. Even the Ramones, if you break down their songs, they're just playing rockabilly, but the Ramones specifically, and because I had to explain this to one of my buddies once, because he was like, well, why is the Ramones punk? What's the big deal with them? And I always thought of it this way. In the 50s, your parents would tell you to stay away from the guys with the blue jeans, the white t-shirts, and the black leather jackets. In the 60s, your parents would tell you to stay away from the guys with the long hair and the dark sunglasses. In the 70s, here come the Ramones with blue jeans, white t-shirts, black leather jackets, and long hair. Oh, it's the devil himself at the time, I think that it's all Sid Vicious with regards to punk. Yeah, I guess that's one of the things that made Sid such a punk, was that he couldn't play. You listen to all those good Sex Pistols records, he wasn't playing bass on those. He was the second bass player for the live shows and all that. But, say whatever, but, I think it was, I'm old. My brain doesn't always work the way I want it to, or at least as fast as I want it to. Dagnabbit, Johnny Lydon basically said, I talk a lot of crap about Sid, but I knew the guy, so I can do that. So I don't necessarily always feel comfortable saying, whatever about a dead guy. But I mean, at this point, the cat's out of the bag. Everyone knows what his story was. And I mean, just like with Gigi, he didn't take the drugs took him. And that's how he ended up. But yeah, he was more of a show hopping around on stage acting like an idiot and slapping the bass more so than actually being able to play it. He was definitely far from a virtuoso on any level. All right. So anyway, it's getting late. I'm thinking it's probably about time to wrap it up. Excuse me. Oh my goodness. Any last minute questions or concerns or anything anyone wants to talk about before we wrap this up? No. All right. Well, hey, thank y'all for coming out. Oh, wait. John Lydon Figgin said first about Jimmy. Yeah. Well, that's, what was that movie that they did about the Pistols a few years ago? Well, I mean, it was a while ago now, right? I think it was in the 90s. Like right when they did their big comeback tour, there was a movie about them where it basically laid out the whole story about how the literal rock and roll swindle, not the movie The Rock and Roll Swindle, but how the whole thing was put together, and you got the Gimp who's pulling the strings in the background. The whole thing was just nuts. That whole situation just crazy. That's like the same kind of attitude that led to Joy Division, right? Like walking around Britain just being that way, just to be that way. Like whatever is British, just do the opposite. Second bass player. Well, I think you know what I'm talking about. Lord Perry and the Platypus. Yep, that's me. Well, Cam, I mean, Sid Vicious wasn't their first bass player. That's for damn sure. Did and Nancy. What about Sid and Nancy? No, I was thinking about it was a movie about the Sex Pistols specifically, not just. I think I do. I think I do what? I don't know much about them. Yeah, no. Here, because I know that Sid Vicious didn't actually play bass at all, really. I mean, he did, but I'm just trying to remember the dude's name. So I'm on the internet right now, so I might as well look it up. What the hell was that? Oh, shut up, you stupid computer, telling me all this nonsense. I want to see the legit stuff. Here we go. Computers can piss you off sometimes. Come on. Where is it? Glenn Matlock. Yes, that was his name. That was their bass player. It was Glenn Matlock. All the good Sex Pistols recordings you hear with good bass lines, that's Glenn Matlock playing bass, not Sid Vicious. My hat rocks. Thank you. Yeah. That's my new Perry the Platypus hat. Funny how the actor who played Sid later played Commissioner Gordon, Gary Oldman. Yep. Gary Oldman's great, man. I even liked him in he was him and Tricky. They were the villains. Tricky was like his minion. His mom overdosed on him on purpose so he wouldn't go to jail. Ugh. Well, that's not fun. Gary Oldman or Sid Vicious? Newble, who was? Gary Oldman or Sid Vicious? Let's see. Oh yeah, the Fifth Element. That's the movie I'm thinking of. That was another band from the '90s. Was Tricky. He was the godfather of trip hop. Man, he got it going. Anyway, I guess that's pretty much going to be it for the night. Like I said, anything else anyone wants to talk about or say or anything before we wrap it up? I mean, you can be talking about the Sex Pistols and music and stuff, we could go for another 6 hours or 6 days. I love that stuff. The Great Rock and Roll Swindle. Yes. Wasn't Sting in that movie too? He was the hitchhiker or something like that. I think that was his first movie role. Back then, even the police were punk. You ever hear Dead End Job by the Police? Dude. That's Prince Jedi. That's an old Norm Macdonald joke. Isn't it funny that Gary Oldman is a young man and Honey Young Man is an old man? But yeah, now he is an old man. So that's good stuff. Anyway, guys, it's been a blast. I had fun hanging out with you tonight. But now I think I'm going to hit the hay. There was Midge Dot. All righty. Yeah, sometimes if I miss a couple things people say in the chat and then I catch like a response to something someone else said, then I don't know what the heck is going on. All right. So anyway, guys, I'm going to wrap this up. We ran way off the rails, but I had fun, and I hope you guys did too. And like I said, I'm working on a video that's probably going to premiere tomorrow. It should be a banger. And you're welcome. Thank you guys for coming out. And I will see you next time. Yay.